All right. So, what does Rick and Morty, Nigerian food, and Tabitha Brown all have in common? They all have to do with the fact that I feel like I'm gonna always be mean as hell, no matter how hard I try not to. And when I say mean, I need y'all to understand there's a difference between internally and externally because really I'm talking about internally. You know, how they talk about intrusive thoughts and all of that shit. You know, they say I am not my thoughts or whatever, but I identify with a lot of my thoughts. More on that later. Um, so when I'm talking about internally, I mean like thoughts and judgment. You know, think about that Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle show skit when he's like, if the internet was a real place, it'd be like this real fucked up neighborhood or a fucked up city. You know, in reality, uh, it's like we all have, like our minds are like worlds, you know. But more on that later. I know I keep saying that, but let's talk about it in comparison to the externally though, right? So externally, I feel as though I'm pretty much a kind-hearted person. And what do I? And it's not that I'm putting on a front because it's really just the principle of being treated how I want to be treated. I'm treating people how I want to be treated. So, for example, like me at work versus me as a customer. You know, when I'm at work, I always greet each customer, you know, with all the, you know, positive, possible positivity that I can. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of shit that I want when I come into an establishment. I want somebody to, you know, be reasonable. You can say hello. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like you don't gotta do all that other shit. For example, um, hey, y'all, I've been trying to get another job, cause fuck that other shit I was talking. Go watch my other video about Kroger and shit. Fuck Kroger, Mariano's, all of that shit. Food for Less. Fuck all of that shit, man. If you see somebody stealing, no you didn't. Look the other way and go about yours, okay? Anyway, what the fuck I was finna say? Bars. Nah, but any of y'all can plug me to any jobs working either with cannabis or doing any kind of job in entertainment. I'm very good at doing voiceovers and shit and acting, period. I can model all of that. But anyway, what I was finna fucking say. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was applying for this job and I was trying to tell the lady who was interviewing me, like it takes no time for somebody to turn a motherfucking head and say, hey, I'll be with you in a second, right? It don't take shit for that, right? It don't take shit for somebody to be like, you know, acknowledging you and be like, okay, I see you, I'm gonna get to you soon, instead of just being still faced doing the same shit they was doing, you know what I'm saying, cleaning up or whatever the fuck they was doing. It takes no time for you to turn your head and acknowledge the customer, cause I do that shit. And also, I make sure that I'm fucking organized so I don't gotta stop too many fucking times and do some shit that I could have already had done or do some shit clean as I go type shit. I'm that type of motherfucker. Anyway, so another example externally. Man, bro, man. And I'm gonna talk about this later too in more detail. I'm so sick and tired, like me as a person looking at other people versus other people looking at me. When I'm, for the most part, in public, you know, even in my private life, you know, I've I've ran into this issue, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about people's perceived reasons for doing the shit like that. But I always greet people. I say hello to everybody as much as I possibly can. But the thing is, I try to make eye contact before doing so. And motherfuckers be trying to like literally avoid eye contact on some hoe shit. But that's when I double down on all my mean ass beliefs and tendencies. Not to mention reality. That's another thing that encourages me. And people say, you don't have to do. Literally, and you're gonna see people will call you bigoted because you don't believe in the shit that they believe in. So shit like God, aliens, and the transgender community. Gee, listen, if you want to click off, you can. But really, that just says more about your ability to be, you know, fair and balanced. And no, it's not the same talking points you've been hearing, because I haven't heard nobody say the shit that I be saying, which is why my shit has the small ass views that it be having. But anyway, so God, for example, we gonna start there. What's up, cuz? Doing another video, don't mind me. But yeah, as many times as people can say, you know, certain experiences they have, they're usually always in the context of something colonized. It's always in, or not even just colonized, but just cultural, or something that we've all just decided to accept as a society, because as a being, as a human being, we're all communal, and doing the thing that everybody around you is doing is a form of, you know, survival. It's a survival technique. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still gotta cook, y'all. But yeah, like for example, the context of God, right? Like I've said in my other videos, God is a very new concept. It's not something that has always existed. It's not something that society, even today, all agrees on. Even the people that claim to believe in God, they don't all perceive the same exact way. Windy City, Windy suburbs, technically. All right. If you just not tuning in, no, I'm not from the suburbs. I'm from the city, but I'm living here because, you know, that's where life has brought me. But I'm from the city, man. Don't tweak on me. Anyway, so people can have any kind of experience they can put a name to or a word to. It doesn't mean that that's what it is. That's just the current way that it's expressed right now. And in the context that it's being expressed is oftentimes due to like some real heinous shit. Like, we was forced to believe in them kind of concepts. People can say all day, I believe in God, but I don't believe in the Bible. It's like, where do you get that from though? Because before the Bible, people wasn't using words like that. Even in the Bible, that's a German translation. Like, there was other words they was using prior to that. So yeah, literally we have, like I said, the human mind is vast. The human mind is strong. Human mind is vulnerable. It's as strong as it is vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that type of shit, people telling me what they're experiencing psychologically, you know, I'm not going, there's not much you can really, I can't really do shit for you. Moving forward to aliens and shit, same thing. Anytime somebody say they had an experience with an alien, it's always a dream or a hallucination or a flat out lie. And the manifestation of it is always something that we've already seen before in pop culture, or, you know what I'm saying, and art, you know, artistic depictions. It's always going, oh okay, the alien you saw had a giant oval head, or a teardrop head, and oval eyes, and it was green or gray, and it had 3 fingers. You know what I'm saying? Why? Also, it's modeled, you can't even really say loosely, it's damn near modeled directly after the bipedal, anthropomorphic, I guess, body type of the human being. Why would the average alien even, you know, be perceived like that, right? Like, it's just so that our human mind, you know, can perceive this concept that we just so happen to choose to fucking believe in. Now, as far as this whole what aliens look like, or common shit, and like, oh yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. And no, everybody's saying the same thing and saying that it looks the same and saying that a UFO look like a flying saucer and all that shit is because those have been the most popular artistic depictions of that. That's it. And finally, for the trans GGs, shout out to the trans GGs. I am not against y'all, but some people, like the white boy from Believe It or Not, decided to compare being gay to being black, being trans to being black, which I hate when people do that shit. If you can't explain your shit without comparing it to black people, just fucking don't, because it don't even work the same. Proof is the whole Rachel Dolezal thing. She tried to do the thing trans people do with race, and that shit was obviously big thumbs down. The whole the whole reason behind that shit is because you're saying that it can't be compared. So if it can't be compared like that, why the fuck you comparing it like that then? Right, shut the fuck up. Now, as far as somebody's um as far as somebody's experience, like psychologically or whatever, all three of these examples I gave, God, aliens, trans GG shit, that shit is all based in, it all exists in the mind. Like I said, the human mind is strong, G, and it's vulnerable, and it is as vulnerable as it is strong, and it is as strong as it is vulnerable, and it's vulnerable because it's strong, and it's strong because it's vulnerable. But we can't acknowledge everything that goes on in our minds, especially not making it our whole identity and then requiring other people to see it the same way, and then calling somebody mean or bigot because they don't see it the same way. Because let me explain something to you, my G. Shout out to Baltimore, Dom. Hey, get in the comments and type Baltimore, because motherfuckers trying to get to Baltimore for Juneteenth. That's the move next year, this upcoming year. But anyway, Baltimore, Dom. I watched this video, a series of videos from this guy Hezekiah News. He has a lot of archived Black lost media. I don't agree with a lot of his Philistine old head takes, but I will say that I got to give credit where credit is due. His role in Black history and preserving Black history, I think he got rid of a lot of the shit, but he brought a lot of the shit back. So salute to him for that. But anyway, there's a TV show from Baltimore back in the day. I think it was called City News or some shit like that. But this was from the 80s, the mid to late 80s, and there was a sister and a brother as the host, and they had a lot of Black people on the show. They changed the host, I think, but they showcased a lot of like Black stories that was not being told, especially for that time. And so they featured a trans person as the guest for one of their episodes. Not only was that alone, that in and of itself, kind of pivotal or groundbreaking or whatever cliche words you want to use for that time, but they handled the situation way better. And even the people in the comments wasn't, tweaking at all. I feel like most of the people was being respectful. The interesting thing that this person brought up was that the reason, like they were trying to explain, like, so the person in question this was a Black person, Black trans person, like I said. I don't know if I said Black, but hopefully y'all did get from the description that this is a Black person. This person basically was explaining like how being trans works or whatever, and what was key for me that stuck out was that this person brought up, I believe, chromosomes or something like that, or hormones, and that being the source. So I'm like, oh, okay, if this is something physiological, this is something, a part of the story that no one has brought up yet, let's look into this. So I do my Googles, do your fucking Googles. I do my Googles, and I look and see, the connection. And the results, multiple results that came back for me, y'all could look it up your damn self, said that being trans has nothing to do with that. And it has to do with how somebody feels inside, which goes right back to the whole, this is psychological, but more importantly, if the claim is gender is a social construct, right? I would draw for that way more if motherfuckers was like, okay, fuck gender altogether, we all theys and thems. That'll make hella sense. But if you're like expressing, you're affirming the construct and you're expressing your gender through traditionally stereotypical means, i.e., as a woman, you want to have your hair straight and long and you're wearing a dress, but there are literally women who identify as women within the LGBT community who do not identify with that type of aesthetic reflecting their womanhood. So it's cap all around. And that's not bigoted. I have already admitted that I could be a pretty mean person and I could be pretty matter of fact about shit. But this is more of a situation where it may be I'm insensitive, but don't fucking call me a bigot, white boy. Fuck you. And then whoever was related to you with the same last name, somebody who was like looked to be a woman of some sort, was like commenting and shit. Just leave black people out of it. And oh yeah, there are black people that are LGBT. I no shit, fucking Sherlock. I know that. I'm saying there is intersectionality. But what y'all motherfuckers need to understand is trying to compare those two is not helping that aspect of anybody's fight. Y'all fucking up. Don't do that shit. Anyway, let's kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about this rant, because it's still a little bit in the frame of people's psychology and what's going on in people's brains. Because that's the thing. Me as a person that I am not my thoughts. If I have as many mean thoughts, yeah, it gets pretty dark up here. I can't acknowledge all of my thoughts and all the things. If I did that, man, I would be in a world of trouble probably. But anyway, man, let's talk about this random bitch I met in Minnesota. And yes, she is a bitch. This is a white girl who, in my opinion, was just flat out a white supremacist, racist that used being, I think she said autistic, using that as like some sort of excuse. She used to speak to people mostly. How I know her is we both used to frequent this organization's headquarters that more or less helped poor people, poor youth. So this was like in my mid-20s. And so us as poor youth, you know, first of all, we all come from different backgrounds, but this was like a white girl who, I mean, like I said, I don't know her story, but she's a white bitch from Minnesota, fuck her. And she was very rude to us. And I remember one time she was upset because I was like ignoring her, which is one of the things I choose to do to keep the peace with dumbasses. So a lot of times, you know, if someone is saying some bullshit to me, I'll just ignore them. And so I don't remember what happened, but she ended up saying something to the effect, she said something like, you don't have to be an asshole about it. And I said, you don't gotta be a piece of shit. And she said, I'm not a piece of shit. I have autism. What's your excuse? And then I don't remember what I did other than keep ignoring her, because I don't even know if I had a response to that, because I was just like, what's my excuse? I just ignored her dumb ass and kept being black. But that brings up the whole self-awareness versus self-accountability. If you're aware enough to know you have tics or whatever, see me, I try to protect myself from myself and from others, and I try to protect others from me. And I know that there's gonna be some you're gonna have to work with people, you're gonna have to put aside your differences. But it's upsetting when it's like, we have just this trend now of people just saying, I got this and I got that, so I don't gotta, like, no, you do gotta, fuck you talking about. Some of the shit, once again, I can be insensitive to. Go watch my video of how empathy doesn't exist. Empathy does not exist. You can't feel how somebody else feels, but consideration exists. I'll tell you what, as far as consideration existing and all of that shit, or versus consideration versus empathy, man, I'm high. There's something that I don't, this thing I can't empathize with because it isn't considered, which is this idea of like crippling anxiety or crippling depression. That could be as real of a thing as people want it to be. I just simply cannot fuck with that shit. And what I mean by that is, we all go through depression and anxiety, and we all go through depression and empathy. We all go through depression and anxiety from time to time. But what I'm not finna do is let that shit keep me like from going outdoors, keep me scared, keep me from wash. You know how the man Lil Bill always says, or he actually hasn't said that in a while since I've uploaded my shit talking shit about that shit. The whole idea of like, yeah, everybody want to die for the revolution. Trust and believe. The people who are manic enough to try to do some shit like that, they're also manic enough. Like, bro, the Black Panthers were literally doing both, like, because they wasn't letting no anxiety. You know how depressed and anxious you must have had to been as a black person in any point in history, but to just not. I'm not hearing that shit, G. Shout out to our motherfucking ancestors. Y'all be tweaking. Anyway, give me a second, y'all. Oh, yeah. Okay, now, remember I said Rick and Morty, Nigerian food, and Tabitha Brown. Let's start with Nigerian food, G. Okay. Going back to this whole spectrum shit, are all Nigerians on the spectrum? Is that what y'all telling me? Because, you go into the restaurant and motherfuckers would just be, like I was saying earlier, they won't even have a line per se. They'll just be cleaning some shit up or doing whatever, and you'll just be standing there and how may I help you? And it's like, gee, I went to this spot, like I said, I'm in the suburbs right now. It's this spot right up the street from where I'm at. And the food was pretty decent. I had some shit, egusi. I think that's what it was. It was like some watermelon seeds with some goddamn, damn. It looked like a rat climbing up my neighbor's stairs. That's fucked up. But anyway, yeah, this is another thing. I do not support the concept of owning pets, G. My little cousin had to educate me on why it's so ratty up here in the suburbs. It's because all these white people et al. Are, owning all these pets, and then they leave the shit in the yard, and here come the rats come up, munch up all that shit. That's gross as hell. It's a dead rat right in front of the. Let me shut up. I sometimes, like I said, see the intrusive thoughts take over. I'm on camera. I shouldn't be saying all of this shit. But anyway, what the fuck I was gonna say? So I go to the motherfucking restaurant. This shit, bro, I was high. You know how when you high and it's cold, you just got done smoking, but the high don't really hit you at all until you open the door and you feel that warmth, and that shit instantly boosts your shit and you eee. So I was high as hell when I went into the door. But gee, it was like a fucking deleted scene from Black Panther, G. Why the fuck was it? It was like fucking consulate of elders. It was like a bunch of beautiful, older black women in some colorful clothes. They had a giant TV screen playing some new school African music, some goddamn I don't even remember what the shit was, but it was that booty bounce ass Nigerian music. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, I walk in there, they all turn to me with the flat affect, as y'all call it, and turn to me after cause I was like, hey, I'm like, are any of y'all the damn owner or something or the cashier? And so it was like they all turned to me at once. It was like a scene in the movie, G. And then they must have, yelled out, either the sister's name or some shit in one of their languages or whatever. She come out eating, G. And then she don't even say hello. She just gives me a head nod. And then I tell her my food. She don't wash her hands or put on gloves or nothing. Just get straight to fixing my shit. And I was like, yo, I was like, you ain't gonna wash your hands? You eating, G? She's like, I would never touch your food with my bare hands. And when I say her energy initially was like, damn, there's some autopilot shit. So nah, you can't say no neuro shit. And a lot of people just need to snap out of it. Shout out to Kira Kiki Shear. But anyway, that's that youthful gospel music. But anyway, what the fuck I was finna say? Yeah, go watch my other shit. I ain't no Christian. I ain't into none of that God shit, as y'all know, but I grew up on that. My mom was one of the younger Christians. Got saved or whatever in the '90s, so I was listening to a lot of that good shit, boy. 1998 was a great year for gospel music. Even though I'm on a tangent again because Kira Shear was a kid in '98. She wasn't making shit in '98. That Snap Out of It shit came out. I was like in 5th grade or whatever. That's neither here, there, or the other place. So, the fuck I was talking about? Yeah, the Nigerian food. So, her energy at first was like autopilot, and then when I like told her that shit, she was like, I would never do that. I am so sorry. And then she went and grabbed a glove and just put one glove on just to use the spoon to scoop the food, but the hand that grabbed my to-go thing was barehanded. And then she's like, can I please serve your food now? And it wasn't even sarcastic. I think she really was just like, we ain't really used to, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers making us do some sanitary shit or whatever. Shout out to the immigrants, but come on, G. I fucks with y'all, but come on, G. But then that brings me to my next shit. Culture versus, you know what I'm saying, community. You know what I'm talking about? Because like culture sometimes can be pretty fucked up. And why could it be fucked up? Because if that's the culture, gee, I remember going into a spot. They used to have, like I said, I used to stay in Minnesota. Had a lot of East Africans in that, in East African community in Minnesota. I used to go check out the Somali them, you know what I'm saying? It was a banging ass restaurant. Used to have that good ass fried bread. Until I see some roaches on the motherfucking wall. I'm like, alright, yeah. And I tried to tell bro, it was right behind him. And I was like, bro, you got bugs in this bitch. He turned around, he's like, what? And like, either he was acting like he didn't see it or he just was like, what do you mean, brother? Like, what the fuck do you mean, boy? That shit Bodine, boy. But, man, bro, it's like, sometimes it's just like how people was raised and they don't mean no harm. But I go through that a lot where people normalize a lot of bullshit and don't realize, like, it's kind of fucked up, G. That shit is, you know what I'm saying? But me, on the other hand, how I was raised, I ain't had cable. So you know what the fuck raised me? Aside from my mama directly telling me to have manners and to introduce people, that's some shit a lot of y'all ass still don't know how to do, is how to introduce a motherfucker when you know two of the motherfuckers and the two motherfuckers don't know each other. Y'all, we too old for that shit. But anyway, I do feel like some people have gotten better at that shit, but a lot of people still booty butt cheeks at that shit. But anyway, what the fuck I was finna say? Yeah, so, bitch, I was raised on Dragon Tales, boy. I wasn't watching none of the shit y'all was watching. I was watching motherfucking Dragon Tales on motherfucking PBS Kids. Bro, they wasn't singing them songs for nothing, G. What they say? They said, get up on your feet and to everyone you meet, say hello, 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 hello. When you want to make a new friend, do, make a big smile. And say hi, hello, my name is Zach, Wheezy, or Cassie before you know it. You got a brand new pal. True blue to the end, brand new friend, sing it again, say it high, hello, say hello, hello, say it fast, hello, say it slow, hello. Get up on your feet and to everyone you meet, say hello, 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 doom, 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 hello. Now we're done, know it's so much fun, singing and dancing with everyone. So let's go back to all our fucking talk about, boy. Yeah, boy. So don't even sit here and act like y'all wasn't given the right directions with y'all eye contact, avoiding ass. And then if you gonna say, well, we wasn't watching PBS. When my little cousin came to move with me back in the day, we ain't had cable, like I said. My mama wasn't finna buy that shit. But she wanted to watch Dora the Explorer. So you know what? Her mama, who stayed with us too, got some VHS tapes with Dora the Explorer. Motherfucker, Dora was teaching y'all ass to say motherfucking, you feel me, hello and shit, and in Spanish. So I'll smack the fuck out of y'all. Why the fuck you think she used to say, hey guys, what was your favorite part? And then just stay there and wait. She wanted y'all to open up y'all motherfucking mouths. So I'm not finna play with y'all. You ain't got no motherfucking excuse. You think Quetzal Big Ass? That was another Hispanic cartoon that I ain't even mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Dragon Tales. Quetzal, he was a real motherfucker. He was, you feel me? He wasn't saying, hola niños, and teaching motherfuckers all the, you know, real shit just for y'all to grow up and be a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bars. But anyway, moving on to Rick and Morty. I actually haven't watched Rick and Morty in a fucking long time, so I don't really know what this shit like moving like now. But that little rat bastard tried to come over on our shit. Get your stinking ass on, dookie juice drinking ass. Nah, but anyway, so let's talk about Rick. So Rick was mean, but he was helpful. If you notice, Rick helped everybody with everything. Even he's like, oh, fuck it, summer. Gotta deal with your teenage problems. Bring that thing over there. You know what I'm saying? He'll still, you know what I'm saying, fuck with you. He'll talk shit because, you know, he had to deal with, you know, that's the other thing, G. He was willing to do all the shit that other people wasn't willing to do. You feel me? And that's why you got to give him his credit and shit. Also, he's smarter than the people that he depends on. Oh man, it's like he doesn't. It's not just that he has to deal with what I write. Oh, he's not easy to deal with, is what I wrote. He's not easy to deal with, and I'm gonna look at it again. Fuck it. I wrote really tiny at this part. Oh yeah, he doesn't think very highly of most people, so it's hard for him to survive, which makes him suicidal. Furthermore, though, we all as human beings need each other as human beings to survive. And see above the other point, that makes him even more suicidal because it's like, damn. Because if you think about it, like Rick, he's a genius or whatever, but he's essentially homeless. He's living there with them. You know, he's making all of his shit out of things he steals and finds, you know, in the streets and shit. You know what I mean? The streets of the galaxy, boy. But yeah, we all need each other. Y'all Christian motherfuckers, y'all that was raised in the church, y'all remember that? I need you to survive. That shit, I won't harm you. That shit is actually a double entendre if you think about it. It's not just, I need you to survive. It's, I need you to survive. I need you in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? That's that real shit. You know, with words from my nah, but now let's talk about Morty though. Morty is well-meaning, just slow. You know what I mean? He's and here's the thing about him being about Morty being slow. Morty, like in certain episodes, comes across as like a creep and other shit. You know, like, God damn it, Morty! I can't believe you're gonna switch it on me. You're a little creep, Morty. Remember the episode with motherfucking Morty? He's like, oh, jeez, Rick, you make a potion for me. Jessica don't like me, and Rick did it for him, even though you know it was a failure, but ultimately it was something that he shouldn't have asked somebody to do for him, but because neurodivergent or whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, his brain don't work very well, or he's not challenging himself enough, or he isn't being challenged enough. What often happens is the Mortys will end up doing some shit like that, and it won't really matter because Morty probably will be in a situation where, off of the love that the family has for him and that he has for the family, they stay cohesive. But also, when it comes to being slow, it's way more problematic the less privilege you have. It's like when you a white boy or you come from the kind of environment that Morty comes from. Like, yeah, it's not really, the worst things like, geez, Rick, like it's not the end of the world except for when it is, but he has in this realm of his existence so privileged that he can have another version of himself appear in another, or he can switch universes or something like that. So the danger that a person like Rick puts him in, funnily enough, I'm just coming to this realization right now, the danger that a Rick could possibly put him in is offset by the fact that Rick also is there to like protect and save him every time. And then also, that brings me to this part. Oftentimes, Morty's and Rick's pair up organically, and it can create a proper balance if done right. If not done right, that kind of relationship can end up very abusive and very chaotic or toxic, like the episode when they got detoxed and shit. I gotta get out of here soon, or get inside soon, I should say, because my nose is starting to run. It's cold. Both Ricks and Mortys can learn from one another. Which brings me to Tabitha Clown. Sorry, sister. Gotta do that to you because you're tweaking. Many people's niceness is self-serving. They're using humans' desire for kindness against them. We'll just say Miss Tabitha Clown decided to choose Target over the community because she saw her community as a bunch of marks. Bars. But yeah, I could round that shit. So she chose Target because she think we are some marks. Her success is not yours nor ours. No, for real though, like, I was in the comments on Instagram arguing with a bunch of bimbos because they're so wrapped up and tied up. Speaking of wrapped up, tied up, tying it up. like I said, '98 was a great year for youthful gospel music. Type in "Wrapped Up" by Dawkins and Dawkins, and then if you fucking with that song, listen to the whole album. That shit is a no skipper. That shit was so fire. Gospel Gangsters, I Could See Clearly Now came out that year. Um, Hey, y'all know Marvin Winans stinking ass. You know the Winans family is huge, and they had like a bunch of kids, and the young Winans ended up making an album in '98. Like I said, '98 was a good ass year for that type of shit. But anyway, they came out with an album in '98, and it was called Winans Phase 2. And the thing is, bro, like that was one of the times where I had to realize, like, yo, and I know I'm on a tangent again, but y'all gotta hear me out. This is going somewhere. This man, so they all kind of got the same names as they all got the same names as their dads and shit. So the motherfucker said, I'm Carvin, son of Carvin, twin brother of Uncle Marvin. I'm saved and tall and dark skinned. That shit was funny as hell. Bro, I said, taking heed to words from the wise, chomping humble pies, and never compromise, saying God is tops, yo, props go to pops, though he brought me up in church in a legacy of gospel surrounded by a chorus of saints that came before us, back to Grandpa, David and Dolores. Then they had children, keeping the holy cycle from David and Ronald, then the twins and Michael, and they know BB, Cece, Angie, and Debbie. Let me praise God, because my whole family is set free. Gee, I do that shit word for word. I'm bringing that up because some people, when their minds are not active, that type of shit will stay with them forever in the form of indoctrination. And they be like, I had an experience with God. And like, what other religions, what other iterations of religions have young rapping suave motherfuckers who my whole family is set free? No, your whole family is set up. Why the fuck you think they feel like they're owed money? He said, that's only $1,200. I need more money. But I should finish rapping that verse, G, cause he was cooking. I ain't gonna lie. He said, hallelujah, I'm buzzing. He said, hallelujah, I'm buzzing. 2 short of a dozen siblings singing for God. Now it's me and my cousins. What in the world were we in for? Let's make it 10 more. Follow examples of our mentor. What's up with you? What about you? Who, me? I thought you knew. Say what? Mark Jr. is a Winans too. So yeah, why would people leave? This legacy ain't through. Say what? Cause you know that. Why would somebody leave a legacy that's attached to legacies like that? Unless you just a badass. Know what I'm saying? Some people just ain't got it. Some people would rather let the neurodivergence take over or whatever the fuck. What else I was finna say? Yeah, Tabitha Brown's success don't got shit to do with you. Shout out to all my cousins. Shout out to, it's about to be 420. That's letting me know I definitely need to wrap it on up. So shout out to everybody that's ever sold me weed too, by the way. Fuck dispensaries, by the way, y'all. Fuck dispensaries. If y'all want me to do a song about fuck dispensaries, type dispensary in the comments. You know what? Fuck that. Y'all don't ever listen. I'm gonna do the song anyway. But anyway, listen to this shit right here. I was watching this shit earlier. Peep this, y'all.
He wanted to help the world. He wanted to make things better. But he was also angry. And the anger overwhelmed the love at a certain point for him. And I think for many of us. And frankly, I think it's a tricky balance. For most people, I mean, most committed people, it's a tricky balance. I often say to students, if you're not pissed off, you're not paying attention. You should be angry. There should be days of rage. But if you're only pissed off, you'll never get to where you want to go. You'll never accomplish, you'll never achieve a better world if you're only angry.
I mean, the townhouse happened.
So I hope y'all were able to hear that. If y'all were not, basically, bro was saying so this was a clip from a documentary about the Weather Underground. Go check them out. Weather Underground was a part of the civil rights
Welcome to
movement.
Menlandia, where men can be
Man,
dudes
come on,
and
man.
dudes
Fuck
can
that.
be men.
See, more indoctrination. We're men can be dudes and dudes can be me. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck was? And see, that's how y'all know. Like, it's no bigotry over here. Like, I'm well aware. I know it's not gender that's a social construct. It's gender norms that's a social construct. Understand the fucking difference. Anyway, where men can be manlandy and dudes can be dudes. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all remember Mansers and all that dumbass shit? How many times can you jack off before your dick explodes? Like, that was the type of shit we was raised in, bro. I know that we was fucked up from start. So don't, man. Anyway, so yeah, Weather Underground, they were a lot of people, there was some white people that, you know, stood side to side with the Black Panthers, you know what I'm saying? And they was trying to bomb some shit and do all type of crazy shit. But one of the dudes who was from Chicago, or from the Chicago area, that was him talking. He basically was like, I tell my students, if you aren't pissed off, you aren't paying attention. But if you're only pissed off, then you know that's not really useful. He's like, you know, you got to have some love there. And I do feel like I got a lot of hate in my heart, and that's why I got to do shit like this, the whole vlogging. So the hate got to go somewhere, G. It got to go somewhere. But I think it's about to be 4:20. I just need to focus. It is 4:20. All right, guys, I gotta go. I need to focus on love, peace, and dope. Y'all like the video and shit. Like the video, comment, and all that other shit. And hopefully y'all have a wonderful day. I love y'all.